Limitless Wrestling fans, it's another edition of the Limitless Wrestling Podcast coming to your ears. Jon Alba, the czar of Limitless Wrestling, Randy Carver, and Top Shelf, Troy Nelson, who's working his way back into being one of the esteemed voices of Limitless Wrestling. Some may even say prestigious voices of Limitless Wrestling. Gentlemen, how are you as we record this extremely important EUPHORIA podcast?
I'm doing great, John. I don't know if anyone would say prestigious voice, but yeah, Top Shelf has been joining Johnny Torres primarily at the commentation station. Sometimes you, John. I'm in a great mood. We're just a few days away from EUPHORIA. Very much looking forward to it.
As far as a prestigious voice, John, I appreciate it. I don't know if that was technically an offer, but I will decline. I think there's a compliment somewhere in there, but who am I to tell?
We could use a prestigious hype man. You know, Randy and I were talking earlier, and he told me that he didn't think prestigious talked enough, so we could always use some more people.
I'd like to think that despite their shortcomings or lack thereof moral character, their shortcomings in that department, I think they're excellent wrestlers, and I usually do say good things about them. It's hard not to, but
you do.
I'm sure I'll have plenty to say about their upcoming match this weekend, but more on that later on.
Do you agree with that, Randy, that prestigious doesn't talk enough?
I think there was some sarcasm in that statement from me. I think they talk just about enough. I think every single day, it seems like leading up to EUPHORIA, but it was nice to see Davienne's comments earlier this week with Fightful. Did you see that, John?
Yeah, Jeremy Lambert and I had to have a little talk after I saw those comments. Wasn't too thrilled with those.
I thought they were great. A nice headline saying that Davienne wants to punch you in your stupid face. I quite liked it.
It was a very bad headline for search engine optimization purposes. I don't think a lot of people are searching that. Just my gut tells me that. They also talked about trash reality television. Who cares about this stuff? You know, you should be focused on getting ready for the biggest match of your life like I am. Just a thought, okay? Just a thought. We're talking EUPHORIA. This is, quite frankly, the biggest show in Limitless Wrestling history, not just for biased reasons, but it is one of the most stacked cards you're ever going to see from Limitless Wrestling. That is coming to you this Saturday. And Randy, how are we doing on tickets as we record this?
Ooh, as of recording, we're down to 18 tickets remaining for the show. There will be no extras released. So if you're hearing this, there's probably less.
It's going to be a sellout right now, guys. Come on. Buy those tickets.
Of course it's going to be a sellout. Did you see who's on those tickets?
Yep, I think MSP's on some tickets. A lot of other great athletes. Anthony Green, I believe, is on a ticket. Yep. Is there someone in particular Is there someone you were talking about in particular, John? Maybe.
You know what? After we win Top Shelf, Troy Nelson, I'm going to get a framed ticket for you and have it personally signed by all members of Prestigious and sent to your household. And then, you know, you can put it wherever you want. You can put it above your bar. You could put it in your bedroom, above your bed, preferably. Whatever. Do you even have a bed? I feel like you're more of a sleep on the couch kind of guy.
No, back in the day, I used to fall asleep on the couch to the MLB Network, then work my way into the bed around 3 a.m. Usually that's
true.
Best background noise. San Francisco Giants versus San Diego Padres on a random Wednesday night. That's it.
Yeah.
But
Orange Cassidy.
That's...
Orange Cassidy was on MLB Network this morning.
I saw. I didn't realize that it was a baseball show until a quarter of the way through.
Yeah,
wonderful.
It took him to see the actual baseballs on the set to realize he, in fact, was at MLB Network, which was interesting. And I don't know if you knew this, Randy, but Anthony Bones, the Acclaimed, actually worked at MLB Network when I worked at MLB Network.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that, honestly.
Yeah. So he was on MLB Network as a guest today. So that was a pretty cool full circle moment.
That's awesome
for him. But that's just some miscellaneous items here because we're talking about EUPHORIA and we're also talking about Dancing on Thin Ice coming to you October 15th in Herman, Maine. We've started to see some announcements rolled out for this. What are we looking at, Randy?
Yeah, well, we've got the long-awaited Limitless Wrestling debut of Maine native Dirty Dango. He'll be coming to Herman. I'm very excited to get back to the Morgan Hill Event Center. It was an awesome environment the first time we were there, and very happy to be back. Also in attendance will be the return of Eddie Edwards after a war with Ace Romero at Undeniable. He's back in action. Russian Dynamite Masha Slamovich, and just announced today, Alexander Lee as well will be on this event, both of whom walked out with victories last time we were in Herman. So very exciting. Tickets are on sale. Front row sold out in 2 minutes, and we've got $15 general admission tickets available. Get yours while you can.
Yeah, how good did Leave No Doubt look on IWTV? That venue is just made for pro wrestling.
Was visually captivating. You always see these events like, sometimes weddings are held here, but sometimes professional wrestling's held here. And that was what Leave No Doubt was. And I said it before on Twitter, and I'm glad that people are finally getting to see it. And I've noticed the trends of what's been retweeted and put out there for the show. There hasn't been a better 1, 2, 3 match kind of follow this style to the first 3 matches. So please go out of your way to watch the whole show. But if you really just are pressed for time, for whatever reason, please watch Ashley Vox and Layla Hirsch. Please watch Slade versus Alexander Lee. And please watch, the Jon Alba prestigious at that event versus the Circus Ninjas of the main event and Nola Katana. It's just 3 matches in a row that just say follow this. They all are in the same, like right 1, 2, 3, and they just really set the pace. There's a reason why we're coming back to Herman, guys. It was loud in there. We could hear you loud and clear.
And he's not going to admit it, but Randy messaged me after my boys' match on that show and said they killed it, and he knows it too. Don't you, Randy?
Well, I'm really looking forward to this event because it's awesome to be back in Herman, but I'm also looking forward to the very real possibility that there'll be Jon Albalis once again come October 15th.
Okay, I see what you're doing. Well, guess what? They won without me. They can continue to win without me, but they're not going to need to worry about that because they won't be without me. In fact, it won't be a 4-person group. It'll be a 5-person group. Isn't that exciting?
I say, Davienne, that is the whole entire wager, isn't it? That if Prestigious does defeat Team Davienne, she would become a member of Prestigious, huh?
Yes. Did you hear Mac Daniels' interview on Pro Wrestling Ponderings? You want to talk about media that's been done for this show, Randy? Well, that was a great interview that Pro Wrestling Ponderings did with Mac Daniels. And he mentioned that Davienne could be applying tanner for the boys ahead of their match, maybe lacing their boots, making sure that towels are ready, meal prep, perhaps.
That's what you're looking for another member for?
Well, again, we weren't looking for that, but Davienne forced us into this conundrum where now she becomes our prestigious little bitch. So maybe we'll let her wrestle. Maybe we'll let her wrestle.
You are cashing a lot of checks, John. And if I hadn't seen Prestigious in person, I really am wondering if your mouth is going to be able to cash these checks. But that's the question. I mean, I don't want to just jump the gun on the show, but I don't want to turn this into the Prestigious Wrestling Podcast. This is the Limitless Wrestling Podcast, and I don't know if are we talking about the 8-man tag? Do we want to lead in with that? We might as well. Jon Alba, how many professional wrestling matches have you had? We're going to play a little little question and answer round with Troy and John. How many wrestling matches have you had, John?
I have had 1, 2, 3, 4 professional wrestling matches.
4 professional wrestling matches. And how have you done in those matches, John?
Well, if you'll recall, Let's Wrestle. There was the Let's Rumble, which was an iconic showing that even Randy will attest to. I have an elimination to my name of Scotty Wilde. Wow. Made it to the final 6, I believe, in that Rumble. That was a prestigious performance. Then what
happened though?
Alec Price kicked me in the neck and it hurt for about 2 weeks, but that's besides the point. I don't know what happened the rest of the way there. I've been involved in a handicap match. I've been involved in some other battle royals. So this is my first real big test on this stage. I admit that, but that doesn't mean I'm not ready to rise to the challenge here.
Okay. My next question is, what happens if, I just want to put it out there, John, if the team of Davienne and Becca and Ashley Vox and Delmi XO, the Sea Stars, are able to defeat you, well, doesn't that put you in just a precarious position? No Jon Alba for the rest of the year. What a shame. What are you going to do without being able to be so vocal? What are your boys going to do without you when they have to always depend on themselves and not you? What are you going to do?
They have proven they are more than capable of it, but we're not going to even worry about these hypothetical scenarios, Troy Nelson, because it's just not a reality. It's not something that's going to happen. And what the hell is this?
Hi, John.
Who the hell?
Yeah,
this is a wonderful surprise.
Are you excited? I just decided to talk to you before Saturday.
What?
You know, just can't wait for it. How are you feeling?
Cut her feet. What?
John, answer her question. She asked you how you're doing. Don't be rude.
Davienne, I am feeling better than ever.
Oh boy.
I am feeling better than ever. I've got a nice big old heel beard for you to see and just want to slap across the face. I'm sure you really, really, really badly want to punch me across the face, don't you, Davienne? I've seen all the headlines about it. Who let you on it? Who gave you the link to this?
Listen, I have my sources. You don't need to know them. But yeah, I can't wait to punch you in your new stupid beard. Maybe I'll just shave it off after I beat you.
I love the sound of that.
I think we can add that in. Should be
I have spent weeks growing this beard, so help me God. If you touch my facial hair unprompted, your life as our prestigious little bitch is going to be way more miserable than it needs to be.
Davey, I'm not much for tattling, but
I would love to see you try.
I'd like to just not tattle, but Davienne, he said that you're going to be his bitch on more than one occasion before you got into the room. I just thought you should know that. Just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you so much, Troy. He can call me a bitch as much as he wants. I actually think it's comical. And it just fuels my fire, John.
It doesn't just fuel her fire too, John. There's Becca you have to deal with, Ashley Vox. There's Delmi XO. And it's not, I understand you're going to have 3 other people that can handle themselves on your team, John, but there are 4 people that can handle themselves on the opposing team. And John, I don't think that you can handle yourself against any of those 4 ladies standing across the ring from you.
Davienne, do you think I can handle myself?
Absolutely not.
Davienne, let me tell you something. I have 15 times the credibility that you have. It doesn't matter if I'm bigger, if I'm smaller, if I'm stronger, if I'm weaker. I have every single intangible that makes me a household name in professional wrestling, and I promise you, my dear, I am not scared. I am not afraid. I have been training. I have been ready for this. It didn't have to come to this, but it has come to this. This is your doing.
Yeah, I'm very proud that this is my doing, John. I'm excited for this match, and I am so excited to hear that you're not afraid to face myself, Becca, and Sea Stars, because I don't want you shaking in the corner. I want you feeling yourself. I want you confident. I want you standing across from me in the middle of the ring. I want you to go toe-to-toe with me, John. I really, really, really want you to bring your best.
You know what?
That's a challenge, John. Are you going to stand across the ring from Davienne when Ruth Bader Ginsburg, or BRG, sorry, I thought it was RBG, when he gives you that tag and you're standing across the ring from Davienne, are you going to get right in? Are you going to get right in through those ropes? Are you going to walk right up to Davienne? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, John?
How about this? Randy, you can advertise this all you want. I don't care. I'm putting this out there right now. Davey, you and I are going to start this match out in the center of that ring.
Let's go, John.
How about that? You and I. The bell's going to ring.
Nobody else will get in the ring after I just immediately Davienne your life, right?
It's just going to be you and I in the middle of that ring as the bell rings. And I promise you, it will be prestigious.
Yeah, okay.
It's so gross.
What's gross about it?
You're just disgusting. And I'm an unbiased commentator.
You're a slob who passes out in his own filth.
I can handle myself, John. I'm just saying. I just like the idea of you holding your insides inside of you after Davienne. Davienne's your life. That's all I'm saying. It could happen. And it could happen this weekend, guys. Euphoria.
But it's not
Great.
going to happen. It's not going to happen, okay? Davienne, I don't know if you saw that nice, fancy little interview I did with Harry Aaron, who did a great job with that, by the way. It was very prestigious. I'm the storyteller here. You're not. I write how all this starts, I write how all the climaxes, and I write how it ends. And I promise you that you're going to be staring up at 4 guys standing over you. And you're going to be
I love that for you, Jon.
And you're
I love the
left to
picture
wonder
you're
what
trying
could
to
be.
paint, the story you're trying to tell. It's really nice. They're really nice words, but Saturday you won't be able to back them up.
Okay, you know what? I am so fucking tired of not being taken seriously.
A lot of language
by
here on the
any of
podcast.
you. All of you guys do. All you guys do is shit all over me. That's all you've been doing for years. I don't even know why I do this podcast because all you guys do is shit all over me, and I'm tired. I am more accomplished than any of you. I do more impressions on the internet than any of you. I have actual tangible gold to back up everything. Where's your gold, Davey? It's in another promotion. It's in another place. It's not in Limitless. I promise you that.
Well, Jon, you know, when you're very well respected and very well valued in multiple promotions, yeah, you can hold more than one title.
I was going to say, your most recent Emmy, Jon, is a couple years ago. Where's your 2021 Emmy?
I was nominated for one this past year. If there wasn't a freaking hurricane that got in the way of me winning one, I would have. And I'm nominated for another one this year.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about nominations. You're only as good as your last win.
You know what, Davienne,
your Emmy is losing its shine there, Jon Alba.
How about this? After I win another one, when you're a prestigious little bitch, Davienne, you can strut your ass down that entranceway alongside me and polish my Emmys and keep them clean.
Oh, my God.
There's multiple Emmys?
That
really sounds like a rough job to just polish one.
You know what, Davey? We've been doing a lot of talking on social media, and I've seen all of your teammates quiet because nobody believes in you. So go ahead. Why don't you? This is your moment of zen. I'm giving you a shot on my platform. Even though you've intruded on my platform, here's your shot, Davey. Go ahead. Sell this match to people. Why should they give a shit that you're out there in the middle of the ring with me?
Jon, this match doesn't even need to be sold. Just Jon Alba getting his ass kicked by Team Davey, myself, Becca, and C-Stars sells it itself. Everybody wants to see you get your face punched in, your life Davey ended, and you leave Limitless Wrestling.
Wow.
There it is.
This from the girl who goes, on September 25th, you may be prestigious right now, but on September 25th, man, you were so good,
now you're
Davey.
Just pandering,
you
Alba.
were so good. Go get it, Oscar. Bye-bye, Davey. Bye-bye. See you Saturday. Oh, my goodness. Who invited her?
It was very nice to hear from Davienne. Thank you for coming on to the Limitless Wrestling
Randy, was
podcast.
that you? Did you invite
we got to
her?
do that again soon, John. I like.
We really don't have to. You know what? How about this?
You
know, I'm tired of this. You've heard me cuss. I'm tired of this, Randy.
You shouldn't have cussed. You should have been able to control yourself. I thought journalists, Jon, were able to keep their composure on the air.
I'm talking right now. I have put up with so much shit on this podcast for 3.5 years now. So you know, Randy, I'll add another stipulation here. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
If somehow, some way, Team Davienne beats Prestigious, which it won't, but if it does, I will quit as host of the Limitless Wrestling Podcast.
Wow, are you serious?
You're on your own, buddy, because you don't seem to value my contributions very much here. This is a 7-8 month story that has been brewing within the realms of Limitless Wrestling, and I can't wait to bring it to a conclusion.
Well, there you go, Randy. You got a lot of pieces on the table there.
We got a lot of gears moving towards Saturday, Jon. My goodness, I don't know if I've ever heard you swear that much ever, like in person on the pod. You never swear on the pod, but you let loose a time or two. You are just ripping right there.
A lot of cussing. Not a fan of the cussing.
Goodness.
But let's try to I think we've highlighted the 8-person tag. What if I told you there are other matches at EUPHORIA this weekend, guys?
We need to regroup here.
We can't regroup. Have you seen this card? We have a rematch in store, Randy Carver. What about the Workhorsemen in their first time teaming together with Anthony Henry back on the scene? That'd be Anthony Henry and JD Drake versus the Mainstay Posse, Danger Kid and Aiden Agro.
Ooh, this is one immediately something that came to mind once obviously Anthony Henry was cut from the WWE, and it sucks to see because Henry is honestly someone who I felt like didn't really get that much of a chance there. Very soon after he got there, I believe, he was sidelined with an injury. I think he only had 2 or 3 matches that made it to air, and then that was it. And that's just kind of the way it is right now with them, unfortunately. But that provides the opportunity on the independents for Anthony Henry to, have some matches that have really brewed up into dream matches since he's been back. And I think one of them for the Limitless Wrestling fans and for fans everywhere is MSP and the Workhorsemen, because they have faced each other numerous times. I believe this will be the 4th meeting between the two teams. This is the 2nd one in Limitless, and MSP's been on a roll. They've had incredible matches. Obviously, when we returned to live fans, we saw the Mainstay Posse come back as a trio for one night only. They got the win at the Vacation Land Cup in 4-way tag team action, so they're trying to ride that wave of momentum, but a very, very tough opposition here. JD Drake coming off one of the matches of the year against Daniel Garcia for the Limitless Wrestling World Championship. So now it's a shift in focus for JD Drake, going back into tag team action with Anthony Henry, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they coexist once again after numerous months away from teaming.
Oh, am I allowed to talk?
Absolutely, John. You're still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, boy.
Now, because I'm a professional, I will pull myself together. And yes, I will tell you this. I am very excited for the Workhorsemen match. I think that them reuniting in Limitless Wrestling is very fitting. I think they really had some of their finest matches as a tag team in Limitless Wrestling. Their match with MSP, we did a watch-along of that match on this podcast. I thought that was exceptional. So I'm very much anxious for this. And MSP has got a target on their back. So you know how we know that, Randy? Because you've invited this other absolute piece of garbage, Smart Mark Sterling, to this show here.
Love Mark, good friend of mine. Very good friend of mine.
Yeah, there's no love lost between Smart Mark Sterling and I.
Okay.
Mark Sterling doesn't even know who you are. He thinks your name is Ron Balba.
I promise you that's not the case, and Twitter is very much proof of that, because he's called me out for no reason. Unprovoked, he has called me out, which is very rude of him.
You're certain you didn't do anything to cause it?
And honestly, I got a lot. No, I didn't. The Limitless social media accounts, who I wonder who that's run by. Your social media team, Randy?
Yeah,
you know
no clue.
The intern?
Oh, yeah.
The intern, yeah. Sure. Yeah, they. I believe it was about 5 months ago, they decided to tweet, it's fuck Jon Alba hours.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't know what warranted that tweet.
Probably, something that it was certainly earned. Let's just say that.
And then Mark Sterling quote tweeted that with something akin to, "Isn't that all day long?"
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, no love lost here. And I was at Dynamite last week and seeing legit Layla Hirsch, Tope Suicida, Mark Sterling was an exciting occurrence for me.
I'm sure it was, but
I don't exactly remember how Jon Alba started talking about the Workhorsemen and MSP, and somehow turned it into.
Well, I'm going to tell you how, Troy.
But
I'm going to tell you how, because Randy is giving this man a live mic to talk about the Limitless Wrestling Tag Team Division.
Yes, he is.
So what's the deal here?
Tag team division. You take a look at somebody like MSP, who, like you said, kind of had the division on their back. We'd have probably tag team championship belts right now. And for whatever reason, Daniel Garcia and Kevin Blackwood wanted to have the eyes on just the Limitless Wrestling Championship. So we're going to have to wait another day, because MSP could not defeat the champion and his compadre, Kevin Blackwood.
Now,
there's
I
been
would
plenty of
assume
excellent tag action though this
there has
summer,
been.
John. And we keep having these matches, and you have a match this type of altitude of the Workhorsemen, who, yes, have not teamed together in over a year, versus MSP that is coming off a victory in a Four Corners tag, but has had a mixed bag throughout the spring and summer. The question is, does the team that's coming in with a mixed bag, but with a big win, defeat the team that holds, some victories over them and just has a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more of a legend behind them, the Workhorsemen. Anthony Henry has had an excellent singles run. Imagine what's going to happen if JD Drake has an excellent singles run lately. Imagine if JD Drake can catch a breather. Imagine if JD Drake can tag in Anthony Henry, give himself 2 minutes to rest on the mat, coming back in refreshed after those tags. I think that's a bad thing for the way MSP has been lately. And that's just my opinion. So if you're asking me right now who's going to win this match, I'm actually going to go with the now returning Workhorseman. That's my opinion.
Well,
and I'm only just going to say that because Anthony Henry, we have not seen a lot of lately, but we have seen a lot of JD Drake. And JD Drake has been nothing but impressive. And
I think he's been on another level lately.
Give that man a break on the apron, making constant tags, giving him a chance to rest. I can't even imagine what he's going to do. And unfortunately, I think it's going to come into hands, MSP is going to not reap the benefit. They're going to have the opposite of that come this weekend.
Well, we saw MSP called out at Leave No Doubt, and I've got a feeling that might be what Smart Mark Sterling might be talking about here, Randy.
Well, I mean, there was an open challenge on the table. If we look back to Undeniable a few weeks before, we saw kind of Mark and VSK buzzing on social media, kind of looking for their avenue back into Limitless Wrestling because they got one of the last wins in tag team action before everything shut down with the pandemic. They defeated MSP in their own open challenge, 4-way tag team action. Ironically, just what MSP won last month. And I think it's got to have a bitter taste, so to speak, for Mark and VSK because they really just haven't been able to find their footing since Limitless Wrestling has been back, whether it be on the road or the closed taping era or since we've been back with live fans. We saw VSK in singles action at Leave No Doubt, but you have to believe with Mark putting it out there that he has something to say about the tag team division, that these two aren't thrilled that they haven't seen any action since February 2020.
Are you a Jade Cargill fan, Randy?
I think she's dope, yeah.
I think Mark should keep his business over there. My take.
Okay.
Just my take. First time ever, the one called Manders making his return against Rip Bison. And Rip was tweeting this was a match he's very excited about.
Yeah, these two have been barking at each other on social media for quite some time, and it's been a while since we've seen Manders. I think it's been since November 2019, since Twilight Zone. This will be the first time that we've seen him in one-on-one action, and I think he's catching Rip Bison at a bad time. Regardless if Rip walking out of VLC with a loss to Ace Romero, I think really opening a lot of eyes of Limitless Wrestling fans with how much he hung in there with Ace Romero, how many strikes, how many blows he could take and keep answering the call. Rip Bison has an endless gas tank. Ace Romero did find the end of it at VLC, though, but I think Ripper's coming in here with something to prove. Manders, though, seemingly a new and improved Corn Belt Cowboy. We've seen him popping up a lot in GCW lately, getting a lot of work throughout the Midwest, and now hitting the pavement, coming back up here to Limitless Wrestling. Going to be very exciting.
Any thoughts on this, Troy?
Absolutely. Rip Bison has been a highlight, I think, for Limitless this year, really breaking out, really coming into his own. He believes in himself now more than ever. Excellent outing against Ace Romero at the Vacation Land Cup. And I kind of said, Rip Bison was one of my picks to win it. It just so happened that he picked, he was in an opening contest with a guy that, was also a guy that I think could have won it. Like top two were like kind of my picks. But sure enough, Rip Bison, unfortunately, is going to have even more to prove this weekend. One called Manders, though. Very steadfast cowboy is Manders. And it's very rare that I'll bet against the cowboy, the true, like I said, a corn-fed cowboy like Manders. But Rip Bison has been seemingly on another level lately. As far as upsets go, I wouldn't call it an upset, but this is one that's too close to call. My heart goes with Rip. My mind goes with Manders. That's me.
I just realized you never made an official prediction, Troy, for Prestigious and Team Davey. So go ahead.
If it was Prestigious in a 6-man tag with Davienne and any combination of the other 3, I'd give it to Prestigious.
You think I'm a detriment.
I think, John, that you are much better suited and good at what you do on the outside of the ring. And I'm telling you, you're good at it. I'll swallow my pride.
I'm great at it. Thank you.
I think you're good at it. But I think that the second you get into a place where I don't think you belong, I think that you are a detriment to 3 talented young men who just have quite an air about them. That is what I think. My prediction is that Team Davienne will win. And if you don't stay out of the way, John, that cover's coming on you. That submission is coming on you. That knockout is coming for you, John. I think that you have written a check that your mouth finally can't cash. You need to hope that either Mac Daniels or Brett Ryan Gosselin or Channing Thomas can lend you the money to cash that check.
There is literally no precedent for my voice getting me in trouble. Okay, none whatsoever. None. Randy, you know what? Go ahead. You like to stir the pot here. What would you like to see Davienne beat me with?
Ooh, I've been thinking about this a lot. It's a great question.
Oh, I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have.
I think the fans are all curious too. I mean, the easy choice is the Davienne your life. I mean, plummeting into the ring post, falling down.
So you want to see her pin me 1, 2, 3? That's what you.
Well, she'd have to go grab your decrepit body from the outside, huck it in. You know, it's a process, but I think that she would certainly savor something like that. I want to see Jon Alba take a power bomb too. I think a power bomb would put you away pretty quick. So that'd be cool as well. I mean, if we're really expanding our palette here, Becca's 450 would be sweet. Ashley Vox catching you in the real catch, Delmy with an exploder suplex. I could go
never mind that. How about the Sea Stars giving you the tidal wave? That's what I'd like to see. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Wait till you guys see what my finisher is. I can't wait.
Anyway. Yeah, I can't wait either.
Oh, goodness.
Single showdown. Yes, Ace Romero versus Kevin Blackwood. This is a match that Daniel Garcia is going to have some vested interest in, making sure that those potential challengers for his championship stay away.
Does he make an appearance at ringside? Ready? Is Daniel Garcia focused on the main event, him and Anthony Green, or is he going to come out and help his compadre Kevin Blackwood? This has been how I pick and choose the winners and losers of Kevin Blackwood matches for months now. That's going to be a big playing point. Because Ace Romero, I think, for every big win he had, you're getting a chance to fight Eddie Edwards and JT Dunn. And he put JT Dunn away again at the Vacation Land Cup. He's been very impressive, but I don't know how the numbers game is going to play this factor, assuming Daniel Garcia accompanies Blackwood to the ring. If he does, once again, I will go with Blackwood. If Blackwood is left to his own laurels, excellent competitor, but against Ace Romero, I don't know. I think Ace Romero has it if it's Ace and him.
I don't think we've seen Kevin in a match without Daniel Garcia ringside since it was, I think March was the last time. So it's been an interesting dynamic that's certainly paid off for Kevin Blackwood in the process, but it is interesting because Daniel Garcia has the biggest match of his Limitless Wrestling career and his championship run in front of him on this night. Blackwood really needs to get back on track. He's lost 2 straight, one being to JD Drake, one being to Anthony Green, and those 2 guys ended up being the next challenger for Daniel Garcia's Limitless Wrestling Championship. So there's a pattern here, and Kevin Blackwood, if he can get back on track, maybe put Ace to rest in the championship hunt, that would be good for everybody involved with the Buffalo Brothers.
I think Ace Romero is the guy we really need to talk about here because just kind of seems to be more the same for old AC baby. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Every single time he comes close to knocking on that door, he's never able to burst through it. Got to make you think a little bit, Randy.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I felt like Ace really believed in his heart of hearts that Vacation Land Cup was going to be his night, and that
I thought it was too, Randy. I thought it was going to be Ace Romero. I really
the culmination of 6 years of hard work was going to finally pay off for him. So I can imagine that Ace Romero is going to come into this match with Kevin Blackwood. Maybe a different attitude, different outlook, no bullshit. Like we haven't heard much from Ace Romero in the meantime, because I think he's been processing everything, because I mean, everybody obviously goes into the Vacation Land Cup thinking that they're going to win, but I don't know if there's anybody more confident than Ace Romero heading into that night. And you wonder what a blow like that does to someone. You wonder where he's at right now and what he's thinking. And it makes you think maybe this is not a good time for Kevin Blackwood to be standing across the ring from Ace Romero, regardless if Garcia's on the outside with him or not.
Bringing us to another just weird-ass match, but you talk about long-form stories that have taken place here in Limitless Wrestling. The story of Love Doug and Ava Everett cannot be overlooked. It is an art canvas death match. Now, Troy nor myself have ever seen an art canvas death match. So, Randy, please explain to us what the hell an art canvas death match is.
This is Ava Everett's masterpiece, the icon on canvas who has been putting out art, as she says, for months and months' time here at Limitless Wrestling that we're all happy to see in her mind, or should be happy to see. But Ava has, taken quite a turn over the past year, and we've seen this battle with Love Doug go on since Love Doug finding his first victory on the road in the Bed of Love match, something that she agreed to. She let him choose the terms. Then we saw the mirror on the wall brawl between these two. Mm-hmm. The series tied 1-1, and now it comes down to this: Ava Everett taking Love Doug out of the Vacation Land Cup, killing his chance at possibly becoming the number one contender for the Limitless Wrestling World Championship, and just eliminating all the hard work that he did to get there. And then later in the night, Love Doug coming back out, head taped up, ripping scissors away from Ava Everett before they could cut Danger Kid's ear, her and Charles Mason, who I'll get to in a second.
Absolutely crazy.
Just disgusting stuff. But Love Doug, luckily there, able to knock down Ava Everett, ends up costing them the match. And now it comes down to this, an art canvas death match where Ava Everett will be providing plunder from, various works of art that she has been working on. There will be art canvases, and I can't imagine what else. I believe falls count anywhere in this match as well. Something, certainly a step out of what is normal in Limitless Wrestling. It's out of the ordinary, but this entire feud between these two has been, from the start, Love Doug, his optimal match, the Bed of Love match. There was so many sweethearts. There were love and heart decorations, in the mirror on the wall brawl, something out of an Ava Everett nightmare, putting each other through long mirrors, and just absolute insanity. And I can only imagine what this is going to bring from Ava Everett and Love Doug. I'm kind of nervous about it.
What you got, Troy?
Quite an interesting, just in general. Doug's a nice kid.
Yeah.
Interesting guy. I like him. I see a lot of myself in Doug from when I first started Limitless Wrestling. The crowd didn't know what to make with me, and then they embraced me, and my losses started turning into wins, and Doug's been doing that. And yes, unrequited love is the word, is how it was with Ava Everett, and he turned that, he was able to kick that love bug that he had for her, and he turned it into something. He turned it into a victory, Randy. And Johnny, that's what he's able to do. And then he started to get a little bit more momentum. And Ava just, she snapped.
She couldn't take it.
She couldn't take it. And that's when, for whatever reason, she's found somebody who I think is sick. At first, I didn't know what to make of him either, Charles Mason. But I know that I was brought in to do commentary. at the last show, but it's not like back in the day. You had Ace Romero and AR Fox sign up to be in a death match with one another. If you have, Charles Mason out there with scissors and knives, I'm sorry. Love Doug did not ask for that. And that's why I had to get up off the booth, try to do something about it, try to get the heck out of there. I know that if you bring a chair to a scissors fight, usually chair's going to win. And I was able to, I hope that I saved Doug from any more of a beating. And I'm glad that he was doing okay because we saw him later in the evening. He cost Charles Mason and Ava Everett the tag team contest. It was them who ended up taking the pinfall in that contest. So you got to believe that Ava Everett is just brewing with rage. I don't know what Charles Mason, how he fits into all of this, but I hope that he gets banned from ringside. I know it's no disqualifications, but I hope there's some sort of thing implementing him to be away from the contest. If these two want to get it on in an absolute spectacle that's going to be the Art Canvas death match, I hope it's between those two and those two only. Ava Everett, I think, can do things on her own. If you have to ask me, who do I think is going to take it? I think Ava is so out there. And I think that Doug, I mean, love conquers all, but I mean, I really think that Ava Everett's going to pick up the win in this contest. But I hope it's on her own merit. I hope it is Ava Everett and not Ava Everett and Charles Mason defeating Love Doug.
I would like to add something. We did make it official earlier today that Charles Mason is going to be banned from the building for this entire event because we're not going to have foul play seep into this and change the outcome from a fair outcome. Listen. Charles Mason banned from ringside, banned from the building. He will not be there. Because if this is going to end, it needs to end between the two of them. It needs to.
I agree wholeheartedly, Randy.
Love Doug.
Absolutely,
Randy. Listen, I know you've seen some killer death matches lately, Randy, but this
took me a second.
I had nowhere I was going with that. I just wanted to get that line in there. But anyway,
is it bad that I know what you're talking about and I didn't even get an Iggy on that and I know exactly what you're talking about? Rough crowd. Anyways.
Fatal 4-way. Lee Moriarty versus Alec Price versus Nolan Catano versus Brad Cash. You know what? Brad Cash would be a great member for Prestigious, wouldn't he?
Oh, boy.
I honestly thought that you were going to bring him into the fold after having him challenge Davienne.
You know what? Well, he didn't win the match.
That's fair.
So that was tough, but he's someone I'm going to keep an eye on. I'm not going to lie to you, Randy. I was not expecting this match. Lee Moriarty just signed with AEW. Alec Price has been on a roll on his own. Noah Catano, we've seen how athletic he is and how different he is from a lot of people. And Brad Cashew just picking up a big time W last month. So I'm a little confused with this Fatal 4-way, but I'm not upset about either. I guess this is kind of our equivalent to a scramble, more or less.
Sort of. I think these are four wrestlers who, especially in the past year of Limitless Wrestling, whether it was the closed taping era on the road or since we've returned with live fans, these are four wrestlers who have continued to improve, who have worked their way into consistent positions with Limitless Wrestling. And as you said, Brad Cashew picking up a major win against Kevin Koo at the Vacation Land Cup. Nolo Catano, one of the bright stars of the Leave No Doubt, our Herman debut. You can check that out on IWTV.
Showed up and showed out, did Nolo Catano.
That he did. And Alec Price getting back on track after missing action in July. Made it
big upset against Beef, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's an upset.
That was quite a conundrum to be in.
That's Beef with the alternate, just pacing back and forth down there. I didn't really see him too much of him down there. Didn't know it was going to go on, but my goodness, Alec Price able to just change, and that's showing some wisdom beyond his years. Being able to change your trajectory, you prepare for Love Doug, then you have Gnarls Garvin, Big Beef coming out, and be able to defeat him. It took the toll on him, which is interesting because this is a Fatal 4-way. First pin is going to win it. First pin or submission wins it. Alec Price was the first person eliminated from the elimination, the 4-way dance that was decided the Vacation Land Cup. JT Dunn with a crushing blow. That elbow was devastating to Alec Price, and that was it. I think if Alec Price, fresh with only one match behind him, even with someone like a Lee Moriarty in there, I think that this is Alec Price's match for the taking. I think if he doesn't have to have a previous match and he goes in there fresh and only needs to, just sneak a pin by, something like that. I think Alec Price is in the best shape to win it. That's what I think.
Fair assessment. Alec Price is someone who has certainly established himself as an elite member of this roster here in Limitless Wrestling, and I got a feeling we're going to be seeing him in a lot of other places in the not so distant future. And then it brings us to our big time main event. Daniel Garcia, Anthony Green. We've seen this match once already, but it did not end cleanly. Now, I would like to hope that it does, and we get a decisive champion. Will it be Daniel Garcia, or will it be Anthony Green, the Vacation Land Cup winner, the two-time Vacation Land Cup winner? Shelf, are we going to get a new champion here?
This is going to be the toughest question of the night. Anthony Green was not my pick to win the Vacation Land Cup, and he proved me wrong when he was able to get one over Ace Romero.
And he had to go through Kevin Blackwood.
Very game Kevin Blackwood, the running buddy of Daniel Garcia, who has been able to kind of prove the doubters wrong. And I said it against JD Drake, though. The man's schedule has been so busy, increasingly busy, with stars from all around different countries over here. And he's just been taking them in stride. And I got to wonder if that can run out at the expense of Anthony Green. Now, Anthony Green has come back. We've already seen this contest before, and Daniel Garcia, walked out with the belt. Then you look at Anthony Green with wins against M-Dog 20, Matt Cross, Kevin Blackwood, and the Vacation Land Cup. Like, he wants it. Anthony Green never wanted to leave that belt behind. If he could have taken it with him down to Florida, he would have. He just couldn't. He believes that he's coming for what is rightfully his, even though Daniel Garcia, he is the true claimer. He is the person that holds that title, wears it proudly, despite everything else that he is doing in this business. Limitless was his coming out party, and he wears that strap proudly. You got to believe that he's going to go to all lengths to defeat Anthony Green. Now, that isn't to say that Kevin Blackwood isn't vicious, or M-Dog 20, Matt Cross, or that Ace Romero wasn't, but after a hard-fought battle against Rip Bison. I think Daniel Garcia is truly going to come guns a-blazing at Anthony Green, try to overwhelm him. Not that Anthony Green hasn't had to face things like this in the past, but it's been a minute, as they say. It's been some time since he's going to have had someone coming at him with the momentum of a friggin' runaway freight train. That freight train's Daniel Garcia. I believe that Daniel Garcia will retain this coming weekend. That is not a knock on Anthony Green, but rather a testament to the hard work that Daniel Garcia has put in, and I don't think that the title reign ends this weekend.
Did you see what Bryan Danielson said today on WFAN?
I did. I absolutely did.
He said
what a compliment.
He said that Daniel Garcia reminds him of himself when he was his age. How about that, Randy?
That is a compliment.
That's quite a compliment from someone who I know that he thinks quite a bit of, and obviously everybody does. And just, it's like Troy said, it's been absolutely insane to see the rise of Daniel Garcia, how busy the schedule remains, but also how successful he remains with everything picking up, going from maybe wrestling a match or two a month in the midst of the pandemic to now, I don't know, he's wrestling 4 or 5 times a week some of these weeks now. National television, flights everywhere, and he keeps it up. He keeps winning. And Anthony Green, I mean, he's had quite a busy schedule since returning to the independents as well. But his eyes are set, like Troy said, on getting that championship that he never lost back.
You talked to Anthony Green quite a bit. Where's his head at ahead of this match, Randy?
We haven't really sat down and talked about that. I don't know how long you have a chance to think when you're going all the time and you're wrestling all the time, but he's been very confident since returning to Limitless Wrestling. And I think we saw that especially in the match with Kevin Blackwood, kind of weathering the storm with the Buffalo Boys, with it being a tandem. You know, it didn't work out so well in July for him, but moving forward, I think he's added some tricks to his repertoire, keeping his head on a swivel. And I think that's what you always have to do with Daniel Garcia and Kevin Blackwood. They're lethal. They're going to cut any corner possible to walk out victorious, and they have done that for a number of months now successfully for the most part. So I think he's looking to continue to add to the game plan, continue to strategize, because Daniel Garcia, I mean, he's someone very tough to prepare for with how much he changes his style, how much he already knows at such a young age. It's very tough to prepare for, but Anthony Green's a student of the game. He'll be doing his own work.
Huge, huge, huge show. Euphoria. 6 years of Limitless Wrestling. Can you believe it, Randy? 6 years? Wild, huh?
It's pretty crazy when you think about it.
And just think how prestigious the last 4 of them have been.
Has it been 4? Holy shit.
Too many. 4 too many.
4 too many. I hear you. Okay, yeah. Listen. It means everything to me to have a chance here to show you guys that I'm much more than a hairpiece, that I'm much more than someone who just yaps their mouth. I'm going to prove you guys wrong. And not only am I going to prove you guys wrong, my guys are going to prove to all of you that they are the sickest and most incredible group of talent ever assembled inside not just a Limitless Wrestling ring, but all New England. And I cannot wait until Davey is trailing behind, shining our shoes. It's going to be incredible. Dare I say, prestigious. Now, Randy, in the unfortunate and unlikely event that we don't win, this will be my last time hosting the Limitless Wrestling Podcast with you. And I would just like to tell you that there are like 55 other people I'd rather host this show with before you.
I knew you were going to say some shit like that.
There we go.
I'm sure.
Anything
John.
else you guys would like to add?
Well, you'll have an opportunity very soon to find which one of those 55 you'd like to host a podcast with.
Boy.
That's all you got. Troy, anything you'd like to add?
I've been very much proud to be a part of Limitless Wrestling since the very beginning. In the very first show, I was in a fatal 4-way. Actually, really, it was a 4-way dance. It was elimination. It was myself, Brick Mastone, oh goodness, who is it? Private Party.
Isaiah
Cassidy, a Private Party, and Xavier Bell. I was on the very first show, and Randy, I think, can attest to it. He didn't know where it was going to go, if there'd be a show number 2. And here we are 6 years later, arguably the best in New England, some of the absolute best in the country. I really believe that. I'm happy to have been a part of that and still be a part of that. And I'm looking forward to just seeing everybody this weekend, and I'm looking forward to everybody enjoying live professional wrestling. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Anything for real, Randy, that you'd like to share?
Yeah, no, I would like to say something for real, because it is pretty insane that it's been 6 years of Limitless Wrestling, and I truly did not know where it was going to go. I think a lot of people didn't really know where it was going to go at first, because we were trying something very new in this venture in this region, and had a lot of speed bumps, roadblocks, along the way. But it's been a crazy ride, and we have such a supportive fan base, such an awesome team. Like, especially, we've talked about it a few times, but the past year and a half has been just amazing how this has truly formed into a team behind Limitless Wrestling, pushing this thing forward. And we have an exceptional locker room, an exceptional group of people on the production side of things and the crew side of things. And it really feels like it's in the best possible position that it's ever been. So I'm very optimistic heading into Saturday. I'm very excited. And thank you, everybody who listens to this, everybody who tunes into anything that we do, whether in person or online, and supports us and supports the wrestlers and the crew involved. We truly appreciate it. And that's what keeps us rolling forward.
You're welcome. We'll see you next time.